we can get started. This week's guest has been seen as Simba in The Lion King, Eddie Kendricks, and, at certain performances, Otis Williams and David Ruffin in Ain't Too Proud on Broadway, and you may have seen him around the world in The Lion King as Simba or High School Musical, and you can currently see him as the MC in Cabaret at Goodspeed Musicals in East Haddam, Connecticut. So welcome to Take a Bow, Jelani Remy. Oh my
What
goodness.
an amazing entrance that was.
Oh my God. No, come on. What a resume. It's a mouthful. There's so much to talk about. I love it. Congratulations on everything, first of all, and thank you for doing this. I'm so excited to talk to you. And the way that I usually like to start my episodes is by asking people, what inspired them to get into the industry and kind of tell stories and, be a performer.
Oh yeah, well, first of all, thank you for having me. And
Yeah.
I get this question so often, and the answer is it's always the same. I was a late bloomer to theater, and I was my choir teacher, Jennifer Jessen, that pushed me to do my first musical, which was
Wow.
Grease, and I got Judy as Grease, and
Amazing.
I worked on that solo he has. What's that playing on the radio?
Yes.
Yeah, that one. And
Come
you remember
on.
singing it for people, and I was super nervous and super, in my head about it, and just didn't know what was going to happen. And finished the song, finished the choreography, and people clapped. And that was my first time feeling what us actors get to feel of telling a story or singing a song or making somebody feel something, and them receiving it in the form of applause, which is the highest praise, and
Right.
I that moment made me feel so alive and so like, I guess it was, I found a purpose and a passion, rather, so I
Yeah.
wanted to get good at that. I loved how that made me feel, and I think that's why I'm still doing it, is because I love that feeling.
Yeah, for sure. And I know you grew up in New Jersey. Like, was this at school? Was
This
this
is in high
in a
school. Yeah, this is
Oh
my
my
high
God.
school. Absolutely. It was high school, which then led me to do community theater, which then
Wow.
led me to want a further education in a summer program at the Paper Mill Playhouse. I did their Rising Star
Oh
program.
yes.
Yeah, yeah. And then
Come
that
on.
made me make my decision as to furthering it in college, where I went to Montclair State University for musical
Oh my
theater.
God.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And
Period.
that's when it really was like, oh, this is it,
Yeah. That's awesome. I can't believe, just within those 4 years, you kind of made that decision and then you knew that that was what you wanted to do and then you went and studied it in college. It's
Yeah, well,
crazy.
I don't. It's not. It wasn't my. It was just up to me. It was that teacher that saw that spark. It was that teacher that
Yeah.
sort of nurtured that and gave me a safe space to explore it. And created an environment where I got to thrive, and create an environment where we
Totally.
all sort of got to get our own little theater community started.
Mm-hmm. So talk to me about The Lion King then, because
Oh,
yes, oh my God, you were with the show for almost 10 years, right?
well, who's counting? Every day is
No,
like day one.
right. I
But yeah,
mean, you
I
look
started
great.
my journey with the show actually started via High School Musical. I did High School Musical first. That was my
Oh,
first Disney production, and then I went over
wow.
to High School Musical 2 after that.
Oh
And
my
then I had an audition for The Lion King, and it was literally the day after High
wow.
School Musical 2 closed. They were like, "Okay, well, you're going to go to New York and audition." And it
No
just so
way.
happened that I got to sing a song from The Lion King in a Paper Mill Conservatory show in high school.
Yeah.
Shout out to Rob McClure, who taught me the song.
Shut up.
Yes, he taught me the song,
Oh my
um,
word.
"Endless Night," and that's how I knew it for my audition. And then I found out a week or two later that I was going to go to Las Vegas to be in The
Wow.
Lion King, and I thought I was going to be, I didn't know who I was going to play, but I ended up playing the back legs of the rhinoceros first.
Mm.
And so I was a rhino's butt for quite some time, and it was
Yes.
an understudy for Simba. And once I went on, I knew that it was that same feeling of the first time of the applause, like that it was meant to be somewhere and I meant to
Yeah.
happen, and wanted to nurture that role, and ended up taking over the role
Right.
in Las Vegas, and then went to the tour, and then came to the Broadway.
Oh my God. That's insane. How do you you were with the show for so long. How do you keep it fresh every night?
Well, one of the great things about tour life is that each city is brand new. So that was
Right.
also fun. But there's something about the show that is just like, it sets you up to just tell this amazing story, and there's
Yeah.
going to be somebody seeing it for the first time or somebody seeing it for the last time. So it's
Mm-hmm.
our duty to just be in the moment and have fun. Like, no show is ever the same for me. And there's
Totally.
no show. There's always something different you hear differently, and that's also the beauty of what we do as theater people, theater folk, and actors. We get to react differently every night.
Totally.
Yeah, and
It's
keep it
like
fresh.
the audience is like a scene partner almost.
It's so funny you say that because fast forward to now when I'm playing the MC. All the
Yeah,
jokes I have are for the audience, and they're not
totally.
here yet. So I cannot wait for opening night when we get our audience, because that is literally my co-star.
Yes.
you know.
Oh my god, I'm living for that. I mentioned like when I do like my intro and outros and everything, I mentioned that like you being the MC in Cabaret was something that like I didn't know was needed. Like it was like it was something that like I never
Ah!
thought about, but it makes so much sense, you
I'm
know?
having such a blast with this show,
Oh
and
my
and
god.
the cast is just outrageous, and just how we were sort of rethinking things. Now to get a
Yeah,
person of color leading the show, it's different. It's different. So we're having a lot of things, rethought of, or heard differently, or choreographed differently. Which
sure.
is so awesome to be part of the process. But the role itself, I mean, Joel Gray, Alan Cumming have laid out such a
Legends.
fantastic guideline for this sort of for me, and I feel like I'm getting to sink my teeth into this role.
Yeah, and it's great that you get to, have that whole rehearsal process to really dive
To find
into.
it, yeah,
Yeah,
find it.
I'm very excited. I'm definitely coming out to see it.
You
Um,
must.
oh my god, it's so nice too. Like I know that it's like in a different state, but it's like close enough to the city where you can like come in and out, and like people can come visit,
I
and it's
was just there
great.
the other day. I'm surprised I didn't see you.
Oh my god, really? You're
Yeah,
in the city?
I
Oh my
was. I was.
god,
I had a couple things to do in the city, so I had to come in.
amazing.
Yeah, of course.
That's hilarious. So, yeah, coming back to Lion King, I wanted to mention you mentioned like the whole tour where everything was different.
Well,
I mean,
also, but let me shout out to the tour celebrating 20 years on the road. How
yes,
cool is that?
incredible.
But I'm sorry, what were you saying?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's all good. I wanted to say that with a huge show like Lion King, or any Disney show really, because like I did the Mary Poppins tour, and like going from city to city with such a big production, it's things change, like depending on like the house size and what can fit and what can't. Like,
Mm.
how was that with the Lion King and just having such a big production and traveling with that?
Well, I think people who are on tour, it makes you a better performer because
Mm-hmm.
you have to adapt to, the different theater sizes. You have to adapt to different audiences' reactions, different crowds, also different climates.
Mm-hmm.
Also just different everything, different sound even in every theater. So it makes us, I
Totally.
think, more adaptable and well rounded. But I loved it because it's like everything was so custom. Do you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Custom to each theater, and then you realize, oh, we're going to that theater. Oh, I remember that crossover,
Right.
or I remember that I couldn't change there. I couldn't do that.
That
Yeah,
crossover.
that crossover. There's no wing space here, or there is,
Right.
but you know what else? Also, the people. You get to
Yes.
make such great family. Well, not even temporarily, but like because you keep in touch. Like I still remember my dressers. I still remember
Oh,
some of the locals that helped out with quick changes or props, sound. You get
totally.
to meet the people, even the front of house staff that you remember from any city you go to.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
You totally get like a new appreciation, I feel like, for the behind the scenes process from like a tour, because like you go to these different cities and you don't realize that like these locals have like kind of been working by themselves to like prepare for us to come in and just have our show go like smoothly as always.
Hmm.
And they've been putting in that work, and it's like crazy that there's like this whole other performance that goes on backstage, and like
That's exactly it. People forget that yes, you see a show on stage, but there is a show backstage.
totally.
There is totally like it's an important part because or else if
Hmm.
that doesn't happen smoothly, we're not getting on stage properly.
Absolutely. So were there any major changes between like Lion King on Broadway to like Lion King the tour and even Lion King in Las Vegas?
Well, yeah, I think we on tour we're not able to have the rake stage. So
Mm,
everything is sort of flat, which is still effective. So that's I
sure.
think the most major change because in both productions I had we were able to have in Vegas and New York we were able to have the rake stage, but also
That's
there's
wild.
some technical differences that you might notice. I don't want to give away too much,
No, no, no.
but
Can't
we have
give away the
to.
Disney magic.
Yeah, well, there's magic in every theater we go to. Just know that. Trust
Totally.
and believe.
Trust and believe. Absolutely. So I totally didn't realize that High School Musical was first. That's so fun that you're kind of with like the Disney theatrical umbrella.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
Yes. So talk to me about High School Musical and like kind of that being like a major, like your first kind of major production.
Yeah, I got it. It's kind of out of college, so it's kind of like I was still in high school, but then I got to
Hmm.
put together this show that I knew I loved it. I loved the movie, so I got to do the
Yeah.
show, but also I got to meet such amazing performers that like have blossomed into these big stars, and it was all
Yeah.
of our first sort of thing together. And it was right at the craze. We felt like rock stars. We
Hmm.
felt like we were at the top of the world doing this great show, singing this beautiful pop music. And it was, the show was just fun. And what it brought to people was just such joy, and it was so
Seriously.
fun to do. It was fun to do. And honestly, like, I made friends for life with that show.
Yeah, I think that's like the coolest thing about like what we do in general. Like we're performing for 2.5 hours, and yes, it is absolutely tolling and all of that stuff for our bodies, mentally, physically, and everything.
Hmm.
But like at the end of the day, like we're so lucky to be able to play as our job. You
Agreed.
know, yeah,
Agreed.
like
Yeah.
just having fun, especially for like those 2.5 hours. It doesn't even matter like how banged up you are. Like when you're performing, you forget about all of it and you're just like up there with your friends having a good time. And I think that's like
Exactly.
the coolest thing.
At
I love
100%.
yeah, I love that you had that experience with High School Musical. Do you feel like doing High School Musical kind of prepared you like cuz I know that was a tour as well. Like did that prepare you to like really understand like oh, this is like tour life and then like this is what happens when I go to Broadway.
Well, I think that the great thing about that tour is that there were not just us, there were the teachers that were older,
Sure.
not too much, I don't want to, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
there's people that have been around in the business that sort of helped us sort of gauge as to how to do the things, how to,
Right.
get the apartments, how to figure that out, what to do. So I appreciate that because I definitely took a latch to um,
Yeah.
our Miss Darbus, and she sort of
Period.
helped me and taught me a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was the best thing is that there's people that have, even in Lion King tour, there are people that have been there since the beginning.
Mhm.
There's a wide range of very talented and beautiful people that you are now in the family of.
Totally. It's funny because like that's something that's not taught in like school. Like you can't really get that knowledge in
No,
education and you kind of have
no
to learn from experience.
experience and also awareness. You got to look around and do all that searching, for yourself.
Absolutely.
I was
And being
terrified. I was terrified when I found out I got the job. I literally wept.
yeah, I
tears
can't
tears of
imagine.
tears of joy, and then tears of like, oh my gosh, I'm going on tour,
Right.
And it was like I was scared. I'm not going to
Mhm.
cuss on here, but I was scared, you know.
You're good.
But I was scared, and then I was well taken care of, and it was okay. My parents, of course, were worried for me too because I was young.
Yeah. And it can be a scary thing. I mean, luckily I've had my parents, but I look back and I'm like this is crazy. Like this is literally going in blind, just like figuring it out like day to day. Like
Yeah.
it's not like no one's preparing you for it, and it's like many of the things that are flawed with our education system. Yes, even in the performing arts world.
Okay, nobody's perfect. Nobody's
Okay,
perfect. We're,
very
we're,
fair
all, we're
enough.
all we're all doing our best.
Right,
We're all just doing our
absolutely.
best.
Yes. Okay. Anyways, I guess I'll move on. Um, um, but I need to talk about Ain't You Proud because Ain't You Proud is literally like one of my favorite shows that have ever been on Broadway. Huge.
Oh,
I'm a huge fan of the show. I actually had Jawan Jackson on the podcast during the pandemic.
you
Love
mean you
him.
mean Broadway's newest baby daddy?
Oh yes. Oh my God. Stop it. That's
Yeah, he
so
had a beautiful baby
true.
boy named Braden recent on Easter Sunday.
Yes, I know.
Yeah,
That's crazy. I saw
isn't
his
it
Instagram
wild?
post. I was like,
Yeah,
Easter Sunday. Uh-oh. Craziness. Congratulations to him. Shout out.
shout out.
Um yeah, but I love the show and I need to talk to you about it because you had such a unique experience in the show. I mean, as did he, but like we're doing it at a different time where, you were in the show and then a pandemic hit and
Hmm.
then you get back into the show. So like what like from a performance standpoint, was the rhythm different and you had to find a new one? And did you feel like the performances as an individual kind of change as you continue to grow within the 2.5 years that the pandemic was or whatever?
Yeah, that's a great question, and I think, well, going back even further. So when I got the show, I was a standby.
Right.
Yeah, so then I replaced Jeremy Pope sort of pretty quickly, and so I had to forget everything I learned as a standby and then just focus on the one role and sort of
Mm.
craft that in no time. You know, you had to sort of go, and then I feel like we had our rhythm, and then the panorama happened.
Pan-
The panorama ding
That's
dong
amazing.
happened, and then we sort of lost our safe space. And then I feel like us in general as artists, we all sort of took a hit. We definitely all took
Yeah.
a hit because it was about. I'll speak for myself. Like I lost my purpose. It felt like, you know, and I didn't know
Hmm.
what to do. But coming back, you know, a lot of things happened in the world. A lot of things happened in our world, in our theater community, in our regular community, in our racial community. Everything has sort of went for a revamp, and it took it's taken so much thought and care um, to build the road of recovery. And I
Hmm.
feel like our producers did a great job of helping us get the tools we needed to do that. Again, nothing is ever perfect, but it was the best that we can do. Meaning, like we
Right.
all sort of had the conversations about how to get back and offering the tools to get back
Totally.
because we all went through a lot of trauma. We all went through a lot of change, you know. And so, how do we put back our beautiful gem with proper healing? You know, so that was an important process to go through, and I'm glad we got to go through it because I got for myself, I got the sort of rehearsal process that I always wanted,
Yeah.
you know, with the shows. So we got to do that and then celebrate it with the opening of the reopening of the show with all
Right.
of us sort of together. And it was a great bond that we had and a great sort of triumph because we did it.
Totally.
You know, we did it. We made it back, you know, and then unfortunately, due to many circumstances, we had to shut our doors. But the thing that I'm most proud of, it wasn't our fault. It wasn't
Mm-mm.
our fault, and we gave the show all that we had, you know, and
Absolutely.
we'll be ready to do it again if the opportunity presents itself.
Oh my God,
But
please.
I hope so because the show is just not only so good, it is so good for people to see and to
Hmm.
experience and to just get some of that good culture, you know, and
Totally.
get some of that good writing, that good music, and that
Uh,
good story again, you know, because it's important to put out. I think the show is important to put out, especially with what we all just lived through.
yes.
It's basically the same thing the Temptations went through,
Totally.
you know. So it's fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And it's cool too. Like, I think one of the things that I loved most about the show that it was such a heavily like ensemble piece. Like it was like y'all had your moments to shine and everything like that, but it was all a collaborative like 2.5 hour show. And it was
Yeah.
like everyone had their own parts to shine, but at the end of the day it was all of you shining. Like
Mm-hmm.
truly.
And what's
And I
better
think
than that, you know?
yeah. And I feel like, watching that on stage and having that sense of community really helped the audience and everyone like it just kind of I don't know, you left in such a good mood and you left feeling good and I think a lot of the community that you kind of were watching on stage really impacted the audience in that way.
Yeah, and to that I'll say also Dominic Morrisseau did an amazing job of creating a script that invited the audience to go on the journey with you. So we all
Mhm.
felt like we were in this together. No pun intended, you know? And that's why you sort of left feeling like, wow, you know, because we all did it together. Like the door was open and everybody came in. You know, everybody
Right.
was there.
Absolutely. So, like you said, you started out as a swing standby,
Mm-hmm.
right? So you got to do three roles. You had to
So
learn three roles,
I
right?
no, well, even more than that, I had to learn all the ensemble specialties. I learned a bunch. I
Oh.
covered four of the five Temptations.
Oh my
Four of the five
god.
Temptations, and then as well as like all the specialty stuff. So I
What?
knew the show. I knew the
You know
I know the show.
Yeah, better than
Yeah.
probably a lot of people. Wow, that's insane. So like what is it like to be a swing and be learning all of these different roles?
I mean, hats off to all the swings. What they
Yeah,
do is they are the unsung heroes. Well, where they are, they should be now be the sung heroes. But it's great
truly.
because it's like the ultimate chameleon, right? And
Mhm.
your job is to sort of fit in seamlessly to keep the show going, and that's what they do. That's what we did, you know. And again, it's not just the onstage traffic; it's the backstage traffic as well.
Right.
But I think also shout out to the stage management that run the rehearsals that give you everybody the information
Yes.
that they need to succeed.
Mm-hmm.
and sort of drill it into you and drill all the difference and all like the variations. Because sometimes you have to do the show with less people than you have. So how do you make that happen?
Split tracks.
The contingency of it all.
Right.
So there's many things that happen that keep this curtain up that are going on that people learn and people sort of have to go through, and it's also about experience too. So it's a group effort.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you have like, I don't know, like if you want to share this, but like I'm curious. Did you like have a favorite role or like a track that you like looked forward to playing?
Oh, and ain't you proud?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think one of my favorite tracks when I was swinging was Dennis Edwards.
Oh yeah?
He's the Temptation that replaces David Ruffin, and he just is on 10 the whole show. You know what I mean? Meaning like
Yes.
his energy is through the roof. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so he's got some of the best one-liner zingers, and he also starts with Papa's Rolling Stone, which is a great song.
Yeah.
But it was just a very funny role, very
Oh my
funny
god.
for me.
I love that. I love seeing like walking on the streets in New York and like even still like with Lion King and Ain't Too Proud, like I always see your face on like buses and
Oh,
billboards and trash cans and commercials. It's like
yeah.
I love it. It's so cool. Like do you ever kind of like wow, like that's me. Like that's so cool.
It's surreal. It's surreal. But it's
Yeah.
also it's a blessing. It is
Yeah.
because it's like I'm from Cedar Grove, New Jersey. Like that, what's what But yeah,
What is life?
I didn't expect. I didn't know where it could all lead. I didn't
Right.
know. I just knew. I just loved how it makes me feel.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and now look at you today. You're a star. You're
Oh.
everywhere. And literally, oh my god. And now you have like a whole film festival coming out. You have like your film is in this film festival, Tribeca Film Festival. Go ahead.
Yeah, so
I see you're excited.
the collaboration on the song "Gone Forgotten Year," written by Justin Anthony Long, Joanna Burns, my team of just wonders, and Brandon Burks directed this music video starring myself and Josh Breckenridge, who's from Country
Mhm.
Away. Yeah, we just put our heads together and filmed and made art, and now it's like doing the thing, and it's going to be in the Tribeca Film Festival, which is super exciting.
I know. That's
Yeah,
huge. Is
and
that like
you can stream it on all of your streaming things. Gone Forgotten Year. It's just like it's a song that when we're all feeling inside and not being with the one you love, especially and it's not safe. That doesn't make sense, and the feeling of like what that feels like to be back with that person. So
yeah.
I'm really really pleased and happy that it's you know gonna be in the festival.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that like a part of the industry that like you're keeping open for yourself, like to possibly like go into, or like you just want to like do it all?
I do want to do it all. Don't we all?
Yes.
I want it all. No, I want to do it all. But like, I love any avenue that I haven't really tapped into. I want to start developing it. I've been writing songs, but never really did anything with them. I just keep
Oh
them in my back
wow.
pocket just in case. And also, like, I see myself maybe directing, choreographing things as well. I love that.
Yes.
So I've done a few outdoor shows, or I do my own cabaret shows now. But I'm definitely loving I'm loving what the year off, the Pangea year,
Yeah.
the Panna Cotta, has done,
Yes.
because it made us sort of make our own schedules and make our own sort of art with what we had. And so I love that it gave me the tools that I get to different tools to build my other crafts in our theatrical
Absolutely.
worlds. That was pretty special.
Yeah. I feel like the pandemic's biggest blessing was
Okay,
time.
you have to think of another word for it.
Oh yes, I'm so sorry. The um
You
the
got this.
pan.
The pan pan. Okay, okay, okay. We'll take it. The pan flute. The pan
So
flute.
sorry. That was like the biggest blessing of it all is like time, because I feel like
Yeah.
as performers, we're always going, our brains are always moving, our bodies are always moving, and like to like sit. I mean, the first week was like, what is happening? And it was
Not in
like
the first
shock.
week, the first month, the first
Right.
month, baby. Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
But yeah, but then eventually you were able to like kind of sit back and say thank you for like the time, and like looking back on it, it's like, wow, I needed that,
yeah,
a little reset.
yeah.
So I love that it kind of helped you with that. I would love to see you direct and choreograph. I feel like that's something so in your future.
Thank you.
Yes, oh my god, I see it. I so exciting. Do you have like a show that like you would want to direct or like choreograph?
Oh, well, I got to do Smokey Joe's Cafe recently, which was
Right.
super exciting, and it was great to do it in my own backyard.
Yeah.
And find these amazing students students. I mean, talents that were just outrageous. I don't know. I'm going to keep my options open because I don't want to tunnel vision into one thing and miss out on something that is
Right.
perfect.
I know, and it's like, do you want to do like something original too? Like,
Sure.
yeah.
Sure.
Okay, I love it. And I want to see these songs. I want to hear these songs too. You
Oh,
better be releasing them. Maybe even a composer of a musical. Come on.
I wouldn't go that far. No, 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 no. I wouldn't go that far. There's far better than. We'll see. We'll see. We'll never know.
Your face when I said that was amazing. Oh my god. Well, I have to talk to you about Cabaret because I think it's literally so cool. I love that you're gonna be playing the MC. Talk to me about the rehearsal process. Talk to me about everything and just like, you kind of are originating a role, but at the same time, like you have those blueprints. So like, what's
Mm-hmm.
the process of that?
Yeah, so Cabaret here at Goodspeed has been such a great process so far. It's a lot. It's a lot
Mm-hmm.
because we're putting together this show with a whole different twist, through
Mm-hmm.
different lenses, different eyes. And Lainey Sakakura is the most intense choreographer I've ever worked. No, I'm kidding. She's wonderful, but the dance is so important, and how to make it different. And I'm having a blast carving this this role specifically because I have an attachment to it. I'm finding myself in the role of being the strong character, but then I get to sort of layer it, and you get to see the man behind the mirror.
Mm,
You get to do all that and go on this beautiful journey of the sky falling. you know,
right.
um, so I'm loving that, and also just meeting these incredibly talented people, which is so awesome.
Yeah.
But I also love that I get to be Jelani and sort of ad lib and be and make myself laugh, make people laugh, and like I said, I cannot wait for my co-star, which is all of you, to come see it, and us sort
Yes.
of like work together. It's really
Yeah.
cool, and James, our director, is also James Vasquez, is our amazing director, which is so awesome. Yeah, we're having a blast out here.
Yeah, that's amazing. I'm so excited. Literally, when I saw that, I'm seeing the pictures and everything that you
Are
like post,
you?
and I'm like the ones you're posting on like social media and stuff
Yeah.
like that. I'm just like, I'm here for it. I'm living for
Yeah,
it.
it's so
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
different. It's like it's funky, it's colorful. It's
Yes.
yeah, we're doing it different.
Yeah. So I don't know if I asked you this. Did I ask you like if you started as like a dancer in
You
this
never
industry?
asked me that, and the answer is no, no, no,
Really? Because I feel
no.
like you're like such a good dancer
I
and like
love to
moving.
dance. I love it,
Yeah.
but I'm a singer who moves well, is what we call it in the
Okay.
audition world.
Period. Because when you were talking about the choreography, I was like, oh my god, like I feel like he is a dancer. I don't know.
I am sure. I'm an entertainer. Yeah, I'll be whatever you need. No, I love that. I
I
love
am
to dance.
everything. I can do it
Yeah.
all. A
Well,
true triple threat.
you got to do your best. That's
Right.
what it is. I'll do my best.
Yes, I love that.
But
Yeah.
in this show, I get to dance in like a heeled shoe. That's very different. So props to
Yeah.
everybody who's ever done Kinky Boots or any other show like that. I
Right.
am proud of you.
And that's coming back. Come
As it
on.
should. As it
Come
should.
on, Kiki. Seriously.
Yeah.
So good. So yeah, in heels and everything, like, did you have
In
to
some
like
numbers. In some numbers. Yeah, that's wild.
that's insane. Do you know like how to walk in them? I can't even walk in heels. I don't
I am
know.
a glamazon in heels. I am so gigantic tall. I'm
Oh
so,
my god.
no, I'm learning. I've learned, and I've practice makes perfect. So I bring them. I get in front of a mirror and do my struts and do my dance moves. And
Come on.
yeah, the ankles are still intact. So,
For
so
now.
we're not.
No, knock on wood,
Oh no.
Yeah, oh my god, that's insane. I feel like that would have to be like a whole other rehearsal. Like just time in heels.
Well, yeah, and Lainey will tell me if it's wrong. So,
Oh yeah? Well, that's great. You need someone like
no, it's
that. Keep you on
awesome. It's
track.
awesome. It's awesome. The support and just the tribe is just right.
Mhm. That's awesome. I'm so excited to see it. It's from
Yeah.
May 13th to July 3rd at Goodspeed Musicals, as he mentioned. So exciting. Everyone go check it out if you're in the area, even if you're not. Whatever, go see it. Go travel. Go for a road trip. Anyways, Jelani, that's kind of all I have for you today. And I was wondering if you would be willing to share your social media for everyone listening so that they can like follow along and see all these wonderful pictures that we're talking about.
Would I ever? Yeah, you
Yeah.
can follow me and all my adventures on Instagram. At it's Jelani Remy. Again, at ITSJELANIREMY.
Yes. So yeah, go check him out as MC and Cabaret. Go check out Gone Forgotten Year at the Tribeca Film Festival this year. That's screening June 12th and June 16th. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Oh my God. So many exciting things happening in Jelani's future and in his life, and many more to come. So follow him along so that you can stay up on all of the great stuff. Jelani, thank you so much for doing this week. It was so much fun talking to you.
Till we meet again, thank you so
Yes.
much.
Of course. Of course. It was awesome. You're a dream.